The Galactic Council chamber was rarely silent. It was usually filled with the hum of translators, the clatter of datapads, and the low murmur of species that had learned to live together, at least on paper. But on this day, silence ruled. At the center of the chamber, an image hung in the air, the smoldering remains of a human colony on Vesper 4. The once green valleys were now black ash, and the orbital settlement that had spun above the planet was reduced to drifting shards. The attackers were no mystery. The Zivak Dominion had claimed responsibility within hours, their warlord proudly broadcasting footage of the strike. The Council's first instinct had been its usual one: form a committee, draft a condemnation, and hope the problem solved itself before anyone had to spend real resources. But the humans did not send diplomats to this meeting. They sent Captain Mara Vance of the Earth Defense Fleet. She stood tall in her midnight blue uniform, eyes fixed on the Zivak delegation. Her voice, amplified by the chamber's systems, carried no tremor. "You hit us without warning. You slaughtered civilians. You think Earth will answer with words? You're mistaken." The Zivak envoy's mandibles clicked in amusement. "Your fleets are small. Your reach is short. You are new to this galaxy, little Deathworlder. You will learn to accept loss." Mara didn't blink. "We don't accept loss. We return it with interest." 3 standard days later, the Council received its first report from Zivak territory. The human fleet had moved faster than anyone predicted, small, heavily armed strike groups hitting military outposts with precision. No drawn-out sieges, no wasted firepower. The Zivak were used to overwhelming force and brute intimidation. The humans used something else: speed, unpredictability, and a chilling disregard for what the enemy thought was too risky. Human corvettes darted between asteroid belts, using mass drivers to fling tungsten slugs at a fraction of light speed. Communications hubs went dark. Ammunition depots vanished in blossoms of plasma fire. By the end of the first week, Zivak forward fleets were retreating. By the second, human special operations teams were striking deep into Zivak homespace, sabotaging shipyards and freeing captives. In the Council chamber, panic began to ripple among delegates. The humans had ignored the Council's orders to stand down for mediation. The official line was that the Council feared escalation, but the unspoken truth was simpler. The other species were shocked at just how quickly humans could mobilize. Counselor Varric of the Thuan put it bluntly: "They are fighting like a predator that's been wounded, and a wounded predator is the most dangerous kind." On the 15th day, the Zivak warlord himself sent an encrypted transmission, not to the Council but directly to Earth. He demanded a ceasefire, offering to return Vesper 4's territory and pay reparations. The human response came in the form of a fleet, not to attack but to arrive in orbit over the Zivak capital. Without firing a shot, they sent a single message: "We accept your surrender. You will never touch a human world again." The Zivak warlord, humiliated, agreed. When Captain Mara returned to the Council chamber, the air was thick with unease. The Zivak delegation was absent. Their seats stood empty. The remaining delegates turned their attention to her, some in admiration, others in fear. "You have acted outside Council law," the chair said, voice carefully neutral. Mara met their gaze. "Council law didn't protect Vesper 4. We did. Your retaliation was excessive." Her lips curved in a faint, cold smile. "That's the point. So no one ever thinks they can do it again." From that day forward, the Galactic Council viewed humans differently. They were not simply another ambitious young species seeking a seat at the table. They were a species that remembered their dead and ensured those deaths were avenged. And when whispers of future conflicts arose, one phrase spread through the shadows of galactic politics, carried on both fear and respect: "Don't provoke Earth. You won't survive the payback."